must find the reason for our soul and for our life. We must reap from wisdom's season, because the harvest won't happen twice.
There are those that time has shown us are the faithful and the strong. They are the ones who never leave us. They are the ones who know our song. So take my hand and take my burden. I'll lift you up when times grow hard. Some trees grow higher than the others. We're more than friends, we're sisters and brothers. My life has been an endless answer to all the questions one might ask. Life is just a lonely dancer, 'cause we play the song too fast. When I look at all the faces that I've scratched upon my wall, I see the times, I see the places where you refuse to let me fall. So take my hand and take my burden. I'll lift you up when times grow hard. Some trees grow higher than the others. We're more than friends, we're sisters and brothers. Some people live on different mountains. We all seek to touch the sky.
There's more than books and blood between us. We're all the same
behind our eyes.
So take my hand and take my burden. I'll lift you up when times grow hard. Some trees grow higher than the others.
We're more than friends,
we're sisters and brothers. Some trees grow higher than the others. We're more than friends, we're sisters and brothers.
Good morning. I'm Deborah Hagenbuch, and I'm reading the words for the cellist lighting today by Robin Gray. We meet as members of a spiritual community. We covenant to engage each other with kindness and courage and love. We light the chalice as a symbol of our community, our covenant, and our faith.
Good morning. I'm Letty Umidi, and I'm a member of the membership committee, and I am a member of the worship committee, and I'm a member of the democracy action team. But this morning I stand before you to welcome you to this community. As we give our welcome all as one voice, I will read a line from the welcome, and if you respond, "We are beloved and we are welcome here." Whether we are able to be together in person or circumstances allow us to be together remotely, We are beloved, and we are welcome here. Whether we have laughed until we ached or cried until we ache, we are beloved, and we are welcome here. Whether we are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful, we are beloved, and we are welcome here. Whether we have made promises or broken promises, we are beloved, and we are welcome here. No matter who we love or who we name as family, we are beloved, and we are welcome here. Whatever is in our hearts, however it is with our souls in this moment, we are beloved, and we are welcome here. In this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, we are beloved, and we are welcome here. And we are welcome here, even though we acknowledge that we are meeting together on the land that's situated on the ancestral lands of the Oneida Nation, one of the original nations of the Haudenosaunee. And now, let us open our hearts and minds to this experience of community and love.
Hi, I'm Ross Kearney, and these are the words of Brian Lennox. We are here because we have chosen to gather as a community of faith. We join together in solidarity as a covenantal people who are drawn together by the promise of connection and the mysterious pull of the unanswerable. We draw on experiences of love and wonder to lift our hearts and move us beyond the mundane. As seekers, wanderers, appreciators of nature, connoisseurs of curiosity, and creators of connection, our paths have converged today so that we might become present to the spirit that is found in beloved community.
Please open your hymn books to hymn 1007. That's the teal book. There's a river flowing. Connoisseurs of curiosity. That's pretty good.
Did you ever play that game where you're given a word and then you throw it out there and you have the crew in the people have to come up with a lyric or the name of a song that goes with that word? I'm sure we've all done it. And sometimes we do it even involuntarily. Well, here's your word for today. It's promise. I'm going to give you a second to think of a song that includes the word promise. Sure. Good. Any others?
Promises.
Yeah. Oh, promise me. The first one that popped into my head was from Guys and Dolls. You promise me this, you promise me that, you promise me everything under the sun, then you kiss me goodbye, and you're grabbing your hat, and you're off to the races again when I think of the time gone by. My favorite musical. But the thing is that when we think about those song lyrics, is it a song about promises kept, or is it a song about promises broken? Every one so far except for Oh Promise Me, which is kind of a hopeful one, every one that you guys have mentioned is about promise broken. And that's no surprise because in reality, broken promises are so much more dramatic, aren't they? They provide the pathos in love songs. They move the plot along in novels. They create movements in politics. And they create wastelands in family, friend, and societal relationships. They never feel good. Because here's the thing, a promise, when you really think about it, a promise is generally initiated by an individual who can then choose to keep it or not. While a promise kept is a delight and it strengthens trust, promises are so often not kept. They become more like maybe if I can, or maybe if I please. The promise giver holds all the cards. And the promise receiver just has to trust that it will be followed through on. One cynic went so far to say as a promise is just a lie that hasn't happened yet. But what about the word covenant? I'm going to give you a second to think of a song that includes the word covenant. What you got? Outside of a hymnal. Everybody quick leafing through. Look up the topic index, covenant. I'll bet. Yep, probably. Maybe even Patti Smith. So no, we don't immediately think of a song that includes the words covenant. But holy cats, are they so much more dramatic? A covenant far outpaces anything that a promise could give. Whereas a promise is implemented by an individual, a covenant is mutual and relational. It's impossible to make a covenant with yourself. We make promises to ourselves all the time. But you cannot make a covenant with yourself. You always need a connection with another. A covenant represents an unbreakable, binding agreement that requires trust, faithfulness, and the surrendering of self. In the Abrahamic religious traditions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, a covenant between God and humanity establishes the core of everything in those religions. But a covenant is no different when it's made between two non-religious parties, or specifically religious, leaving God out of it, if you will. It is still a commitment that binds two parties together, and this is the key, in love. It establishes the core of everything that follows in that relationship. It sets the stage, it sets the responsibilities, it sets the boundaries for everything going forward. But in case your brain is going someplace else, this is really important. A covenant is not a contract. It is about being in a mutually treasured relationship. So how fortunate are we that in 2020, a group of members and leaders here at UU Utica looked at our community and asked, how can we be stronger? How can we move closer in connection with each other that builds trust and accountability? How can we grow in love for each other? With the insightful help of the minister at the time, Reverend Lori Staubitz, they worked to develop a covenant that addresses our mutually treasured relationships with each other. And that ideally continues to be a touchstone and the core of all of our relationships in this wonderful community. Do you get how big this is? Because when we agree to covenant with each other, we become more strengthened, more equipped, and more supported in sharing the values. It gives us a solid base to say, I come from a safe place where I am strengthened, and now I can go out and share these, which Kim very nicely fixed up a little bit this morning, because Kim is the one who made this wonderful banner. I look at it every Sunday and say, thank you, Kim, for that reminder. When I was in the new members class, it was the discussion of our covenant that sealed the deal for me. I came from traditions that involved creeds and that involved rules, unspoken societal norms. Did not come from faith traditions that involved covenanting within the community. And I knew that if this was a congregation that took its life together so seriously, that even knowing that from time to time things were going to get messy, there was still a way forward with respect and trust. This was the place I wanted to be. You should each have a copy of the covenant in your orders of service. And it includes the 8 principles in our values, because remember, that covenant is where we go to the gym and we build up our strength to be able to go out and live those principles in the world. So let's take a moment and read the covenant together. And as we read, let's do so mindfully considering how we're doing in keeping covenant with each other. And as an aside, for those online, I know that you weren't provided with a copy of this. If you're interested in getting it via email, if you could just drop a note in the chat, and we'll make note of that and get it out to you. We build our church on a foundation of love and covenant with one another to create a welcoming and trusting, safe community for all. To be open, honest, and compassionate to all, and look for the good intentions of others. Avoid gossip and speak directly to one another to resolve any differences. To speak kindly, respectfully, and compassionately while listening carefully to all viewpoints. To explore and accept personal responsibility in conflict, being able to forgive and accept forgiveness. Participating with our community where there is common ground, serving with compassion and commitment. Approaching visitors with respect, open hearts and minds, embracing everyone. We commit to this covenant as a means of supporting and living the 8 principles. So maybe we can avoid making promises that include crossing our fingers behind our back. Promises that become mere placeholders in order to interrupt times of incessant pleading. But if we can face each other with intention and will, we can covenant together. We can hold this covenant in our bones and in the spaces that hold our bones together. We can forgive our humanness in daring such a thing, knowing that there will be gaps and tears and hurt. But moving forward, we can reach down into who we are and what we want from each other, from community, and from ourselves. When members of the Blackfoot tribe meet each other, they don't ask, "How are you?" Instead, they ask, "How are the connections?" That, my friends, is covenant, elegantly put. May it be so. Our next hymn is number 128, "For All That Is Our Life." now in the spirit of covenant, we're going to take the time to recognize milestones. There's so many amazing people in this congregation. Every single time I go home, Bob and I go home, we talk about wonderful conversations we've had and the things that we've learned and the hilarity and the sorrow that we share together. But these are milestones for people who have joined and then maintained faithfulness, for markers, waypoints in our time together. So I invite the membership committee to come forward. And I am going to read the names first of our one-year milestone recognitions, which in reality is kind of 2 years because we missed a year. Yeah. Maybe we should be in front of the thing so people can come up. So we're all going to come, when I call your name, if you're here, well, obviously if you're not here, you're not going to hear me call your name. Please come up, and we have a gift for you. We're starting with the 1 year and 2 year of a chalice pin. Vanna, hold up the chalice pin. This is our Vanna White, AKA Kimball Pierce. Lovely chalice pin. Beth Haas. I'm going to read all the names, just so you know who these individuals are. Will Hall, Chris Jackson, moi, Rudyard Edick, who we continue to hold in our hearts with his loss, Julia Fernandez, Lisa Mastraco, Michaela Parker, Jean Perry, Michelle Wiles, Paul Hadley, Elizabeth Brotherton, Dee Dee Roy, and Deb Faust. Thank you for your faithfulness over these past couple of years, and it has been a joy to get to know you. Okay, budge in for the photo op. Thank you. For our 10-year milestone recognitions, I do not think that any of these individuals are with us today, but I'm going to read their names, and they will get a mug with 10-year, what does it say, Roz?
Unitarian Universalist Church of Utica.
And 10 years.
10 years.
Awesome. So that would be Keith or Kit Blackmore, Aaron Shupp, Melissa Shupp, Paul Tenerowitz, and Tammy Tenerowitz. And Tammy was on the committee that developed the covenant. So in absentia, thank you, Tammy. And our 2025 milestone recognition is to our indomitable Barb Freeman. And we'll show you, she's doing yet another wonderful thing for our community today, so couldn't be here. But she gets a climate action tote. Boy. Thanks, Kimball. And then 50 years plus are Sally Carmen, who we know is recovering from surgery, Fred Carncross, and Elaine Griswold, all who we hold close in our hearts. So let's send it out to the universe. Thanks for those individuals.
Deborah Hagenbook back again, and I am reading for you the words for the offering by Letty. Umidi. Offering. The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to this people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes, with which, when we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith.
Because all men are brothers, wherever men may be, one union shall unite us, forever proud and free. No tyrant shall defeat us, no nation strike us down. All men who toil shall greet us, the whole wide world around. Let every voice be thunder, let every heart beat strong, until all tyrants perish, our work shall not be done. Let all our memories fail us, the lost years shall be found. Let slavery's chains be broken, the whole wide world around.
Today's meditation is from Douglas Steer, a Quaker teacher, who says that the ancient question, "Who am I?" inevitably leads to a deeper one, "Whose am I?" Because there is no identity outside of relationship. You can't be a person by yourself. So to ask, "Whose am I?" is to extend the question far beyond the titles that little self-absorbed me comes up with. And then we wonder, and let's think, I'm going to give you just a second to think about these as I read them. Who needs you? Who loves you? To whom are you accountable? To whom do you answer? Whose life is altered by your choices? With whose lives is your own all bound up inextricably in obvious or invisible ways? And now let's extinguish our chalice from this wonderful community's time together with the words that we say every week with full hearts. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, nor the beauty, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
This song might not have the word covenant in it, but I think you'll get the idea.
We should Google that. There must be some song somewhere that has that. Oh, there are?
We're in indie songs and folk songs and other
Good to know. It's good to know. Okay, it's me. Together we stand, united we fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. You know when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, the roads you travel all face uphill. Let's get together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Oh, 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 hours, what does it matter in this life of ours? Let's work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man.
Make someone happy, make someone smile. Let's work together and make life worthwhile. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together.
Because together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Oh, come on now, people, let's walk hand in hand. Let's make this world of ours a good place to stand and work together. Oh, come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Because together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man.